Hello, welcome to Working with Miniatures. I'm Jim, and tonight we're going to be painting Father Christmas by Reaper Miniatures. We'll be using Army Painter's speed paints, Warpaints, washes, and metallics. Let's get to it. Right after I torque these tire nuts. Come on, buddy. You're helping. This miniature was primed using an airbrush with matte black Vallejo primer, followed by a zenithal spray of gray and then white. Additional highlights are added with golden Highflow Acrylic's titanium white, which is more vibrant. Once back at my desk, I sketch final pre-highlights using Army Painter's matte white. This is a thick acrylic, and when brushed in the hatching and cross-hatching patterns can lend to a tattered look. Orc Skin Thin with Glaze Medium is a first speed paint, and this will cover the majority of the miniature. I only will be showing the main parts being painted, such as the coat and leather gear, though a chart is shown at the end with the colors used to paint each piece of this miniature. Once the coat is painted green, I mix a shade and darken the recesses. I chose green instead of red for this miniature's coat for two reasons. The first being the previous Christmas miniature I painted wore primarily red. The green would be a good counter for it when they are placed side by side. And second, with the staff entwined with the vine and leaves, this would make a decent druid miniature. The bags, belt, and staff are base coated with hardened leather. When using speed paints on a miniature that has so much white, it's important to paint slow to avoid errant brush strokes. Some speed paint colors are a nightmare to clean up. I mix a shade for the leather and wood and darken the recesses and undersides next. I wanted the frill of the clothing to be white, but I also wanted the snow and his beard to be the only pure white, so I tossed runic gray over all of the frill sections of the clothing. This speed paint color has grown on me and looks great over white and silvery metallics. I apply Monster Brown highlights over the bags, belt, and staff. I do want to mention that I did not varnish this miniature at any point. I typically don't have reactivation issues with hardened leather or dark wood. I apply an additional but lesser highlight with Banshee Brown. In retrospect, I should have mixed this at a 1-to-1 ratio with Monster Brown, as Banshee Brown may be slightly too bright as a highlight. I bring back some of the white of the frill using Spaceship Exterior, which is a mild gray. Again, I want the snow that will be on the base and the beard to be the only pure white on this miniature. I brighten the beard up some with an additional highlight of matte white, and I also fix any errant brush strokes that I may have had along the way. For the green coat, I thin snake scales until it's a glaze and then add several passes, gradually building the highlight on the raised folds. I also want to point out that I typically don't have reactivation issues with orc skin or absolution green. The final green highlight is made with Kraken skin, and this is also thinned to a glaze and applied over several gradual layers. When applying this final highlight, take care not to completely cover the previous highlight from snake scales. This is the final result. My two biggest gripes with how this miniature came out are I somehow missed a lot of areas that needed to be tended to. The mold lines on the right arm and front left of his hood are atrocious. The second gripe is the colors I chose for the vine. I'll likely come back later and glaze a dark and desaturated green over it. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I felt like I started to get the first real glimpse of what glazing should feel like, and I also don't understand how I was able to do these eyes. And I still need to black out the base. Just gonna wrap it up for today. I hope you learned something or inspired to start or expand your own collection. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. And if you like the content of this video and would like to see more, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm Jim with Working with Miniatures. I'm truly grateful for your time, and I bid you a fond farewell. Till the next video.